ain't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Eevee and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, the Blerd Without Fear. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about NYX number 7. This issue is a difficult one for me, and I normally don't like to make videos being hypercritical, but I'm going to be very hypercritical about this issue. And it's something that I said when I first saw the solicit for this one. I was very, very taken aback when I saw this. When I read the solicit, and I actually want to pull this up because I want to make sure that I'm very clear in everything that I'm about to say. I want to make sure I'm very clear in the fact that I'm not trying to personally attack anybody, because I know how these things usually work on social media. People usually will say,
Blerd called out, the writers of this book. Yeah, we should totally call them out too. We should totally go out on the internet and bully them.
No, not what I'm telling y'all to do. Not what I'm telling you to do. So we're disavowing that shit off rip. We're not doing that. We don't do that here on the Blerd Without Fear channel. But I am gonna say I have a lot of criticism. I have a whole heap of a lot of criticism for this issue because I believed. I was a believer. I love me some Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing as writers. I think they're great writers. I think they do a fantastic job under normal circumstances. This is not one of those normal circumstances, and I gotta hold some feet to the fire here just for a moment, so y'all just bear with me. So when I first saw the solicit for this, and I'm gonna read this off because I want y'all to see exactly what I see. So basically this thing reads, "I've seen what you're building, Prodigy, and I don't think you have any idea how dangerous it is. Ms. Marvel trusts you, but you're helping her perpetuate a lie. Sophie trusts you, but you're absolving her of her crimes. Wolverine trusts you, but you're asking her to indulge her violence. Anole trusts you, but he's the only one of you holding to the old ways. So I'll make this easy. I'll do it in a language we both understand. My name is Sync, and I challenge you to a battle to the death. I challenge you to the Circle Perilous." That was the preview in the solicit for this issue, and I found this one really disturbing to me because in light of all of the recent comments on the internet, as well as some things that Tom Brevoort said, which I'm going to address on an official capacity in a future video coming up soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. For those who know what I'm talking about, Tom Brevoort just literally talked about there aren't any viable Black X-Men characters outside of Storm and Bishop. And I disagree with that. But then you're going to take two of the few who actually are well known outside of those two characters, two Black male characters who otherwise should be, I won't say they should be getting along because they're Black, but they shouldn't have any beef with each other because they're Black. Like, I'm not going to lie. This felt like token energy. This felt like token energy like a motherfucker. It felt like old school Walking Dead rules where there couldn't be more than one Black character on the show at any one given time. This is what this feels like. It's like, hey, here's two Black mutants sitting side by side. We can't have that. So, hey, y'all got to scrap. Sorry, but you got to scrap. This is what it is. These are the rules. Is this the Highlander all of a sudden?
There can be only one.
I do not like that. It's such, it's so cringe. It is so fucking cringe. I try not to be this guy. But I don't even like the word token. Because I think it's very problematic. And also, I feel like it's misused a lot of the time. A lot of people don't really know what they're saying when they say it. But I feel like you took Prodigy, you took Sync, and you basically having them commit Black on Black violence. Like, what is it? What is this? In 2025? We're doing this in 2025? Really? No, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And I'll go into right now, yes, do they smooth it out by the end of the issue? Yes, they do. But here's the thing. They had to fight each other first. And so this is, not only is it Black on Black violence, but we're now just perpetuating the whole dumb trope of superhero shenanigans where, hey, you're a superhero, I'm a superhero. Technically, we're on the same side. We actually have no reason whatsoever to fight each other, but just, to get people hype, I guess, we're gonna have y'all beat the shit out of each other for no reason and then shake hands at the end. I don't like that. I've never been a fan of that. I say it all the time. It's nothing but fucking sickos who enjoy that shit. And if you're a sicko, cool, but yeah, I'm not a sicko.
I can't get jiggy with this shit.
I also did not appreciate the fact that Sync just came off as an angry Black man, and this gets to the second problem I have with this. And once again, I'm not trying to say white people can't write good Black characters. I know plenty of white people who can. I know a guy named Travis B. Hill who writes black characters just fine, and he's white. I mean, matter of fact, here I got one of his comics right here. You can actually go check it out. I'll actually leave a link to this. You can go check this out. I'm actually gonna use this opportunity as a teachable moment. But yeah, this guy, he writes black characters just fine. Thorn is black as the ace of spades. He writes black people just fine, and without all the problematic BS. That said, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, they are two white dudes. And man, I take it personal. I do actually take a little bit of this personal. They wrote this way. This is, like, I'm not gonna lie, this felt like some 1970s shit. Like, this felt like some 1970s shit. Some shit you'd see like in the 1970s where some black character shows up, he's just mad, And to be fair, I think Sync has a lot of reasons to be angry, but Sync shows up with a type of energy that just seems unearned. And I'm saying this is a guy who is a self-proclaimed Sync stan. This is a Storm stan account, but this is also a Sync stan account. I love Sync, and I'm sitting here like, Sync don't talk like that. This ain't Sync. This is not Sync. And you can make the argument that, yes, Sync's gone through a lot of stuff. He went through all the shenanigans that some of it's even brought up in this issue. Like the stuff that happened where he during the old Generation X series where he threw himself on a bomb to save humans. And then later on, going into the whole thing that, he came back and he lost the love of his life and now she's back, but it's not the same person. And then the one who was the actual version of Laura Kinney, who was the love of his life, she got killed off during the fall of X. So now he doesn't have all he has is the ghost of Laura Kinney, who's walking around in front of him like an actual clone of that version, which is just, it's insane. It's insane. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like this. I didn't like this all. I'm not saying that I'm done with NYX, but man, I do not want to see this shit again. I really do not want to see this shit again. This is I'm not gonna lie, this is painful. This is painful to read. It was painful to read. And like I said, you're taking two black characters, especially after the shit Tom Brevoort just said. It's like, come on, man, y'all just took two black characters and now you're gonna make them fight each other, almost on some fight for your freedom, nigga. Like that's what it is. That's what it felt like. I'm not saying that's what they were going for, but I mean, that's what it felt like to me. It just, I didn't like, I do not like. I'm like I said, I usually try and keep it positive here on the Blerd Without Fear channel, but I read this and man, I got angry. Speaking of, you want to talk about white writers being able to write black characters? Let's go back to that one a little bit. Al Ewing's been writing black characters almost on some ribs better than black people energy, type shit. It's crazy. Like a lot of people, whenever I talk about Al Ewing, people are always like, oh yeah, that's a brother. No, that's not a brother. It's a whole white man, whole white dude, whole white man. I'm talking about white man out here, been writing Blue Marvel. Most folks don't even realize that a white man has been writing Blue Marvel like crazy. Probably the only reason Blue Marvel even shows up in anything is that white man. Yeah, it's not to say that white people should not be writing black characters, but I feel like if you're writing black characters, you for goddamn sure better not be writing them like this. This actually made, this made me very disappointed. This actually made me very disappointed in Colin and Jackson, because I was like, y'all are better than this. Y'all are better than this. You're better than this. Upsets me, man. Makes me sad. It's like they try and make it all about how Sync is upset because he feels like Prodigy is leading mutant kind astray. Like Prodigy is trying to unify the community. Like he's trying to, which I think is crazy. I think it's actually crazy coming from Sync. Of all people, that's crazy. Sync, the guy who literally threw himself on a bomb to save humans. I mean, yeah, sure, they throw in the line that, oh, yeah, he realized that his sacrifice didn't mean anything. Which, I mean, to be fair, does anyone's sacrifice ever mean anything in X-Men? No, it never does. So why would he be surprised? Why would he be resurrected, come back and be like, oh, yeah, man, that's crazy. Humans still hate mutants, that's wild. But no, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I also feel like, too, they got Sync out here carrying the torch for Krakoa. Lisa Knowles stuck to the old ways. Yeah, fuck out of here with that shit, dude. Look, ain't nobody checking for that shit no more, okay? Look, I loved House of X and the House of X era as much as the next person. But let's be real. And the closer we got to the end of House of X, it was like when you have that milk in the refrigerator that is past the date, but it's only a day or two past the date. That was what Fall of X was. When we, as the Krakoan era started coming to its end, that's what it was. It was the milk that was a couple of days past. You can still drink that shit. But every day you drink that shit after, you are rolling the fucking dice, okay? I'm just putting that out there. So yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And there's so many people that try and say,
Oh, Blerd, you're just a House of X hater.
me, the guy who literally dedicated his channel for the better part of almost 5 years. 5 fucking years. And most of that time, almost all of that time, I would dare say, glazing up the House of X era. Glazing it up. Just like I was motorboating that shit. But no, everybody suddenly sees,
Oh, he's criticizing House of X. He must hate it. He hates House of X.
no, I don't hate House of X. I hate how it ended. I hate how it started to end. That's what I hated, okay? That's what I hated. And I still found things to like about it. So it has nothing to do with that. But I do find it interesting that Colin and Jackson took a few moments to have sync as the almost kind of sound like the angry fans who are still pining for Krakoa. So that was also kind of a flag. That was laundry on the field as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, they should be put in the penalty box. Like, I think they should actually be put in the penalty box for that. The fight too, but that especially. That especially. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Yeah, it just sometimes this shit happens, and honestly, it sucks. It fucking sucks. I know I'm cursing a lot more than I usually do because I'm mad. I'm legitimately angry. Not angry like,
Oh my God, I want to send death threats to these people.
no, but just angry as in like, man, if I ever actually like bumped into them in like a convention, I wouldn't like be disrespectful, but I would legit be like, y'all know y'all fucked up, right? I'll be like, you, come on, bring it in, but you know you fucked up, right? You do. I'm like it would be handshakes and hugs. Like I know sometimes my videos get to the writers of these books a lot of the times. I want to make it clear, if I bump into you, like this is not even for y'all. This isn't even for y'all, but y'all should have the same energy. If I bump into Colin and or Jackson at a convention at any point in time in the future, and I see them, I'm not gonna be like, man, you know what, man? Fuck you guys. Like, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be like that at all. I'm not gonna be like that at all. But what I am going to do is I'll be like, hey man, look, Brandon, man, look, hey, dap it up, man. It's all good. But hey, just don't ever do that shit again. Don't ever do that shit again. Look, we cool, we good, but just not that. That's not it. That's not it. But hey, and you know what? And this is the thing, and I think more people should do this. I don't know if Colin and Jackson did this, but I'll be brutally honest with y'all. If you are, and this is actually advice for any white writer writing a non-white character, if you feel like you are creating a situation where 2 characters of color are about to get into some shit, especially if it's a black character, especially in this case specifically, ask a black person. Be like, hey, ask a black person and be like, hey, what do you think about this? You think this is cool? Does this play well? And I don't mean just ask you ask a random black person, but ask your black friends. Or I would even go as far as say, ask a Blerd with or without fear. I don't know. Maybe that we could just spare ourselves this shit. Cause I'll be honest with you. I've loved NYX up to this point. All 6 previous issues I thought were fantastic. I love seeing Kaiden come back. That was cool. I loved all this shit. I even loved what they're doing with Mojo, the whole Mr. Friend thing. This was some bullshit.